Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Dish Yelta Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Hello, and I've just figured out if I have a second screen open with my camera in full video, I can watch Rose in the background do her thing.
Nice.
So now I'm looking at what Charlie watches during the entire show, and I understand what he's talking about.
Yes, this is a slight distraction. That's why I tried not to look at that at my other monitor, because I see a lot more than just Zealeus.
Oh dear.
Yes, oh dear indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, of course, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by Plevin Comer himself, Zealeus.
Indeed, it is good to see you on the ones and zeros.
But of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Thursday Hangout. This is a live show. We try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. At any point during the show, if you have any topics, questions, or opinions that you'd like to share with the class, please do so by dropping it in the chat, be it on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. If we do unfortunately run out of time to add your question or thought or question or topic to the show, we will add it to the very next one. That being said, let's jump into it. The first thing is, hopefully everybody had a happy Turkey Day this last Thursday. Of course, we did not do our Thursday night show because we were high on chemicals from the turkey.
And some glorious chemicals they were. The old natural flavor of smoke and happiness.
Yes.
And hopefully not too much family drama.
Yes, yes. One can only hope for as little drama as possible.
And dear, how was your tryptophan day?
I smoked a turkey for 8 hours and had a yummy meal and watched.
I'm assuming the turkey was already dead when you put it in the smoker.
Yes, yes.
Not like it was alive. It wasn't like a lobster where you cook it alive.
No. I did not have to defeather the bird. I didn't have to do any of that jazz. Just.
Ooh, I think it's an idea for next year, actually. I think you should go all in for the Thanksgiving feast theme of really giving thanks for what you have.
No, thank
part
you.
Of that
I spent
is
enough
doing it naturally.
Nope. I spent enough time smoking the bird. I don't need to do anything else.
Okay. Maybe you should teach one of your kids to do that.
Yes. No.
Okay.
No. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let us get into some of the topics that are most important to you. The first one is, this is an interesting story, and I figured that we'd bring it up. Baldur's Gate 3, of course, is a very popular, very successful game that's out there right now that is still blowing people's minds. And there is a new patch that is on the horizon for all platforms to fix all the bugs and to make things even awesomer. But there's a strange request that the developers are basically telling the owners and gamers that are playing their game. Do you know what that request is, Zealeus?
A request about, well, I know it's a huge patch. It's something stupidly large, like 30 gigabytes.
It's actually 130.
Well, it takes it. You need 130 gigabytes on your drive,
right.
But it's like a 30 down. It's only
it's
30
a 30 gig,
down.
right?
Yeah.
So the request is, ladies and gentlemen, if you own Baldur's Gate 3, to help with the process, go ahead and uninstall the game, so that when the patch hits, you won't have to run into memory allocation issues. That's a first for me. Hey, to better your gaming experience, go ahead and uninstall the game right before the patch hits, and then just reinstall everything. It'll include the patch, and you'll be right as rain.
So I'm hearing is the patch should actually just go ahead and uninstall the game and reinstall it from scratch.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It sounds perfectly reasonable to me.
Yes. I don't think I've ever done that. Ever.
I mean, it is pretty crazy with how large some of these games. I mean, like Modern Warfare is like over 100 gigabytes, and these games are huge. Even with the 1 terabyte SSD, it's like hard to manage what games I have installed because they're so huge. You got that space for the patches also. So it's not just like the size of the download. Do you have enough space to also install them? And it's like playing game Jenga as far as what games to have installed.
That's exactly my Nintendo Switch.
Well, I did splurge on Black Friday for a 4 terabyte SSD because I saw it was on sale, and I was like, you know what? Fuck playing Jenga. I'm done with this.
Attaboy.
But it is kind of funny though, because I remember my first solid state was like 480 gigabytes. I'm like, man, I'll be good with this. The next one's a terabyte. Dude, I'll be good with this. Now it's 4 terabytes. Dude, I'll be good with this. So how long until, the 4 terabytes feels too small? Because that's the way games seem to go. They just get freaking larger and larger.
Yes. Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is indeed nuts.
I mean, even like 5 years ago, a 100 gigabyte game was not known. And now it seems to kind of be the norm almost.
Yep. I agree. I did not splurge on Black Friday. Well, the only splurging I did on Black Friday were gifts for my children.
Which then makes you happy because then they're happy.
Exactly. So there was no hidden gifts for Charlie thus far.
You didn't like sneak one in for yourself like, oh, wait, that's not for you. That's for me.
Oops. I just meant to put that on a wish list, not buy it. Well, since it's here. No.
It sounds like a pretty reasonable take to me.
Yeah, of course. So that's interesting about Baldur's Gate 3.
I also know that one of them was resolving a bug because the evil choices were causing so many basically AI branching ideas that are slowing the game down.
Speaking of slowing the game down, apparently there are some issues with Starfield. If you play long enough, things start to crap out, and there's also this new weird thing that could happen where a moon will collide with the planet.
Cool.
Yeah.
It actually sounds like a feature, not a bug to me.
And I'll never see it because I'm done playing Starfield.
You've done your time in Starfield. You've done your same 60 quest over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Slight variation over and over and over and over.
I tried to play the New Game Plus, but I was just like, I'm doing the same thing. They just changed where things are. Now it's not that planet, it's that planet over there. Wow, what a difference. I
think my problem with I know we talked about New Game Pluses in the past, but usually my problem with the New Game Plus is it's not that New Game Pluses are usually a bad experience. It's that I've already put so many hours into a game that by the time I beat it, I'm like, okay, I'm time for something else. And like a good one would be like Scarlet Nexus. Like it was on my mind to go back and do the New Game Plus with the new character, which sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
But then it's been so long since I got into playing other games where I come back, I'm like, do I really want to do New Game Plus for a game I don't remember playing at this point, basically?
Yep.
So that's always my conundrum with the new Game Pluses. Is kind of, they just meld on each other as far as why I'd never played them.
Okay, speaking of new game, this is not really a New Game Plus question, but it made me think about this. You were saying, you took so much time off between last time you played it, and if you were to try to go back, you basically have to relearn the system.
Yep.
What, not actually having to do with video games, but with books.
Ooh.
How long does it have to be for you to want to reread a series?
So, honestly, like usually 5 to 10 years. I've actually over the last year, I've been rereading the Mandalorian and Belgariad, and then the Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. I mean, those are books I probably hadn't read in 20, 25 years. And that's probably about right for me, honestly. It's just, there's so many books out, and I read a decent amount, but I'm also not a fast reader by any stretch of the imagination. So like the amount of time it takes for me to read a book anyways, and usually like, I think I'm kind of like you, where I'm usually reading like the epic high fantasy series where they're like 3, 5, 7 books.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, yeah, like the Mandalorian wasn't bad because each book's like not long, honestly. Like they're not long books, so that didn't take very long to get through. But like I'll never reread, for instance, a Game of Thrones. Like it's just too freaking long where I'm never gonna reread it.
It's too taxing.
It is. No, the one series I probably will read at some point is Harry Potter. I do need to reread that. A series I know I will reread it's a series by Sarah J. Maas called A Court of Thorns?
Yeah.
A Court of something and something. I can't remember the full title because each one's a court of something.
Yeah.
And she did that thing where she like released the first 4 books and then she created a branch off series set in the same universe called like A Crescent something. She's going to write X number of books from that series and then come back and finish A Court of whatever. So at that point, like I read the first 3 books and they're phenomenal, by the way. Like I would highly recommend Moss books to anyone. But at this point, I'm like, yeah, I just stopped reading the series once I learned that. And I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till she's done. And at that point, I'll reread it.
Right.
So usually for me, it's a pretty long, like at least like a minimum 5 years for sure before I reread a series.
I don't know if it, for me it would be 5 years. But it's probably a couple years. It's at least a couple years where I'll stumble back upon a book and get that itch. And to be honest with you, that itch has gotten me to the first book in an amazing series called The Great Book of Amber.
Okay, I actually did read the first book of the Great Book of Amber a couple months ago.
I was like, it's about I got to do it. But the problem with that, my only problem with rereading The Great Book of Amber is I do have the physical copy, but I'm afraid to touch it because it's older. And so I'm like, all right, well, I've got my Kindle. I'll just buy it in ebook format. You have to buy every individual book. There is not the Great Book of Amber collection. You have to buy each one, and they're all priced differently too.
Jeez.
Like the first one is like $1.99 on Kindle right now, but like the third or fourth one is like $5.99 and then $6.99 and then like $4.99. It's like all over the place.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's a while for me to reread books. Speaking of Harry Potter, I started playing Hogwarts Legacy.
And
dude, it's like I love it. It's for me, it's very rare in a video game where I get a moment of like wonder and awe in a game where I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And for me, it was like that first time riding the broomstick, flying across Hogwarts at night and seeing like this universe that you've read about and seeing, but like you're actually in it.
Yeah.
Like that was like a holy shit, brought a smile to my face moment in a video game that I don't get very often. And 100% part of that is because like that's the series and to a extent movies that, you know, I grew up on and you grew up on.
Yep.
I mean, granted, we're high school, college when they really became popular, but still. So, like, bringing that universe to life, it's a good game in its own right. But being a part of the Harry Potter universe just gives it that extra feels to me in a video game. So, yes, I'm greatly enjoying Harry Potter Legacy. The only thing that gets me, and I think you actually made a comment about this that I didn't understand at the time, is how freaking often I have to swap out my spells.
Yes.
Like, I feel like it's like every other thing I do, I'm like, oh, I need Leviosa again. Oh, I need Accio again. I'm having to constantly swap out my spells.
That's why later in the game, I don't remember what it is, but there's things that you could do that allows you to basically have like a hotkey switch.
The talents, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to waste my talents on something that can kill people better, man.
Whatever, dude. No,
yeah.
I really enjoyed that game. I mean, I played the hell out of it until completion. So,
yeah.
What house are you in? Just curious.
What's that?
What house did you get sorted into?
Slytherin.
Huh?
Slytherin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although from everything I've seen, it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference.
No.
I mean, I know there's a couple of quests that like change slightly, but they all end up being the same regardless.
You get the special Slytherin coat.
Yeah. And I have a snake on my door.
Woo! I'm always
So,
Ravenclaw, so
I mean, it's definitely a quality game. I can see why people appreciated it.
yeah.
I do like the puzzles in the game because they are like they're not super simple, but they're obvious enough usually what you need to do.
Yeah.
As far as what to do to solve it. So it's like I think it's a good balance between being like stupidly easy and being like, oh, it's that thing over there.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is I play other video games and I find myself, I forget what it is. It's that spell that like reveals everything.
Yeah.
And when I play another game, I'm pressing a button to reveal everything. And I can't, I'm like, why can't I reveal everything? Because that's a great feature. Like, that's like one of my favorite things in the game is you can reveal everything. I'm like, why do other games have this? This is fantastic.
I'm having sort of the exact same thing. So during daylight hours, I know I've probably said this before, but during daylight hours, I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep.
And you have the ability to toggle your focus on and off. And when you toggle your focus on, it will highlight, it will show you enemies that might be nearby or wildlife, or kind of give you this weird kind of purplish tint that tells you there is something that you can harvest. And I'm also, but at nighttime, because I like to scare the crap out of myself, I play Alan Wake 2. And there's been a couple of times where in Horizon Zero Dawn, you hit the, you press the right analog stick to toggle your focus on and off. There's been a couple of times in Alan Wake 2 where I've definitely tried to press the right analog. I'm like, come on, I know it's here somewhere. Why can't you highlight it for me? So I feel your pain.
You wouldn't really want anything highlighted out. Like that's like the whole point is you don't know they're there.
See, so the thing is, like with Zero Dawn, it's a lot of action, right?
Yep.
And in Alan Wake 2, it's a lot of suspense and there's a shit ton of story. Oh my God, is there story? Which is a good thing for me. I love story. But the mechanic to advance things sometimes derails me in Alan Wake, because what will happen is you'll find stuff and you have this what do you call it? A mind palace, an area that is it's not quite your inventory, but it's basically a place to sort through your notes. It's not really that complicated, but still you have to, once you've gained enough knowledge, you've got to go and basically think about your case notes and then apply them to the board or the wall, and it will open up new aha moments to allow you to advance the story.
Okay, makes sense.
So you kind of have to, you have to toggle off and on your movement in the game, and that kind of throws me off a little bit. However, it's good. It's good. It's a good game.
Nice.
Actually, both of them are very good games. Though I did learn something in Zero Dawn, and that is that if someone were to play, like my son, wanted to give the game a whirl, and he set the difficulty to story, which is the easiest difficulty, so he could play. When I load my file, even though that I chose the normal difficulty, it does not toggle back to normal difficulty. That the save file does not include that. It sticks with the last used difficulty. So during one of my major battles, I was like, "Holy crap! When did I become OP?" and then I started questioning myself. Like, there's no way. Like, I just applied this one thing to my bow. It couldn't have made it that much more powerful. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check the settings. Sure enough, my difficulty was set to story. I'm like, that's why I'm so badass all of a sudden.
Nah, dude, you're just amazing.
So what I have to do is I have to remember when I log out of the game, I have to change the difficulty back to story. So if my son were to try to jump in the game, he doesn't get massacred.
Yeah, I can understand that. But that's kind of cool that he can play some of the games that you're playing.
Yes, or attempt
Like,
to at least.
Yeah.
And then at night when I'm not in front of my computer, I am playing Super Mario RPG on the Switch and running that thing running the battery down to the ground every single time.
And how is that going?
Oh, it's nostalgia, man. It's nostalgia.
It's some good stuff.
It's good. I mean, it's as good as I remember. And there's a rumor that one of the developers that helped kind of bring it up to code, after seeing how it's doing, wants to try to make a sequel, which would be awesome. I don't know where the story would go, but it would be cool to have another, kind of Mario RPG where you have your party and whatnot.
I mean, it's a video game. You can always figure something out.
True.
Baldur strikes again somehow. Don't ask me how, but it's going to happen.
True. Okay, so some of the other news, real quick. Zealeus, have you seen any of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies?
I have not.
Okay, well, first one's good. Second one, I think I just watched too many times, so I'm kind of over it. And the third one is officially on track to be released December 2024. Which this one, the first one, of course, just basically had Sonic and Robotnik. The second one had Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik. And then the third one is going to feature all of the previously mentioned, plus Shadow the Hedgehog.
I appreciate that Sonic, like, for people younger than us, is probably more known via the movies than video games at this point.
Yes, which is a little weird, but hey, they do it well enough, so...
It's just, I don't know. I just find that kind of humorous in a weird way.
I also found out, and I mean, this is going way back old school, showing how old I am, but apparently Disney is going to make a live-action Fern Gully, which I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah.
I can't imagine that, like, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Fern Gully, got to go watch that, by golly.
I mean, that was definitely the Save the Environment movie of the early 90s.
Well, I guess that's one way to save the environment is create a movie which uses resources.
Also, apparently, Disney has had so many flops this year that they are definitely in the red when it comes to their big budget movies.
Well, yeah, sounds about right. I honestly haven't cared about like Marvel basically since Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know stuff has been around. I don't know. And part of it did coincide with COVID because like after that was basically the shutdown.
Yeah.
But I've seen like 2 movies in the theater since COVID.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've really
anything. I'm just kind of like meh.
I don't know if I've really gotten into any of the new movies, minus the last Spider-Man movie. But I mean, I enjoyed the couple of series that they've put out. The Loki series is phenomenal. The Falcon and Winter Soldier one is pretty good. The Hawkeye one was pretty good as well. I never watched the Miss Marvel one, so I couldn't tell you that about that one.
Yeah, I mean, they're all series I should be interested in.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I get like Marvel stuff. I don't know. I just got like, one of these. Eventually, I say one of these days, like one of these years, I'll get Disney Plus and watch them.
There you go. Oh, also, real quick, going back, not with the MC universe, or sorry, the Marvel universe, but there's also a live action Knuckles series coming to Paramount Plus that's on track to be released next year and will retain the voice acting skills of Idris Elba, who of course is the voice of Knuckles in the movie. So, be interesting.
I love him as an actor.
Oh, yeah, he's phenomenal. Phenomenal. And ladies find his voice very sexy, so It's a win-win for everybody.
So do men.
So let's see here. What other stories do I have here? There was a graphic novel that came out. I don't remember exactly when it came out. I actually read the first issue called BRZRKR, and it's spelled BRZRKR. And I think it was really, it involved Keanu Reeves in some capacity. I mean, the main
So
character.
nothing to do with Berserk.
Huh?
Had nothing to do with Berserk.
No, not that one. No, it's basically a Soldier of Fortune kind of thing. And apparently there is a rumor that there is going to be a live action adaptation of this, as well as a 2-season animated series, both going to be on Netflix. And the rumor is that Keanu Reeves might be in the director's chair for the live action.
Interesting.
So now it's been a while since I read the first issue, but I remember it being pretty solid. And if the story continued on, I'm sure it continued to be solid. If it's, if Netflix is willing to promise not only a live action movie, but also 2 seasons of an animated series, might be worth checking out.
The BRZRKR.
Yep, BRZRKR.
Oh, apparently there's also an Australian-British industrial death metal band by the same name.
Yes, I think they were mentioned in the movie Clerks.
Huh. That is okay.
Little
did I know.
But yeah, so that's pretty sweet. But let's also talk about this story has been kind of bouncing around for a bit. But there is a series that Netflix basically forked over some serious cash for, called, I want to make sure I get the name of the damn thing right. It is called, oh shit, where'd it go? Conquest.
The Conquest?
No, just Conquest. And Conquest was centered around artificial humans called the Organic Intelligence, OI, who are employed as peacekeepers around the globe.
Sure.
And of course, OI's true mission is revealed, however, conflict erupts.
No.
The guy that's behind it is the guy behind the Keanu Reeves movie 47 Ronin, which was a box office failure.
Oh no!
And apparently, this dude, first of all, Netflix has reportedly spent over $55 million on this show, and there's not been a single episode of it, and there never will be.
What?
And the creator of this is actually suing Netflix for $14 million for breach of contract. Apparently, the dude's went insane, became like a conspiracy theorist, especially around the origins of COVID-19. And apparently, when Netflix all right, maybe we should just pump the brakes and say thank you for your time, the money that was left over, the creator pumped it into cryptocurrency. So this guy is a wonderful individual.
This keeps getting weirder and weirder.
I know. Yeah, it's like the story, like the behind the scenes story about the show Conquest is just insane. Netflix gave the guy almost complete creative and budgetary control over the show, and then it just went absolutely sideways.
And of course, when you give somebody in that situation happens, it's going to make Netflix that much more likely in the future to give directors the creative freedom needed to actually make a good product.
And apparently he stated something along the lines of he's autistic and also has ADHD, which kind of resulted in his erratic behavior. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's kind of a premise of a TV show I'm actually watching right now.
So,
Homeland.
Yeah, I don't know. People be crazy. How about that? Pretty straightforward.
I mean, I'll go crazy for $55 million. Take a few of those, put in my bank account.
I'll at least make a couple episodes of a show though before I completely lose my shit.
I mean, we could make the episodes in like your backyard.
Exactly. We could do it stick figures and stuff.
We didn't say how high quality they be. Actually, maybe something straight out of Blair Witch Project.
Ah, yes, the single homemade video cam.
Perfect.
Exactly.
And it worked well for them. Why not us?
Well, especially when everyone thought it was real when it first came out.
I mean, that's the whole point of marketing something like that, right?
Exactly.
It's kind of like Saw.
Yeah.
Based on a true story.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have nightmares again.
There's only like 8 of them?
No, I think there's 10 now.
You're 10? Jeez.
I think so.
Good gosh.
Let's see here. How many Saw movies are there?
Apparently, I lost track.
There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 10.
Like, you think after a while, like the cops or FBI or somebody might be like, well, there's a strange for those people getting mutilated. I wonder what's going on here.
Yes.
Something totally just, I guess, normal in some parts of the country. Who knows?
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to pause real quick to thank the individuals that help Alter Confusion be the Alter Confusion you love and adore. So without further ado, let's give some thanks to all of our friends of the show. To start off, we are going to go with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts that challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. All right, the next one we got to do shout out for is Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously White Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. And the next one is a guy I need to call now that I've recovered from all my surgery. And that, of course, is Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic's unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore, the company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. Also, he's got a really good deal with if you buy like a bundle of service or visits, you can get a pretty good discount.
So it's like his own Black Friday sale for chiropractic needs.
Bingo.
Nice.
The next one we got to do is CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Alter Confusion. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. The final shout out we got to give is to the original patron, our original supporter and huge friend and fan of the show, and that, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both a development team and a system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings and many times during, he is the Agile evangelist, Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, and also Don't forget he's also written a book. Go to agileaxiom.com.
Wait, I would have to read a book? What kind of craziness is this, sir?
It might help you in the long run. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that
Are
you're...
there drawings?
Huh?
Are there drawings, cartoons?
I don't think there's any cartoons. There are some diagrams, though.
Okay, fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are now dying to know how you can become a friend of the show. Well, let's give you that information right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Confusion survives and love and support of fans like you. So we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, mummies, swamp creatures, vampires, werewolves, ghouls, ghasts, supporters, and more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. We currently have 2 different levels. There's the $1 level, that's $1 a month or $12 a year. And what you get at that level is early access to all of our playthroughs, as well as the ability to participate in patron-only posts. Now, if you're feeling extra fisky, you can go up to the $5 a month. That's $5 a month or $60 a year. Not only do you get everything at the $1 level, but you also gain your name or organization added to the Friends of the Show section of every single Thursday night hangout. So if you want to become a patron of Ultra Confusion, go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/altered confusion today. Now, since I have now gotten a clean bill of health from my doctor, I can now focus on trying to get back to what I was supposed to do at the beginning of the month. And that, of course, is the Extra Life 24-hour game-a-thon, which is, of course, with Extra Life. And let me tell you a little bit about Extra Life. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion today. All right. Now, let's get back to some of the stories.
Gotta take a breath after all that.
Yeah, actually, I need to take a sip. Excuse me here.
Ooh, a sip of happy juice.
Nothing like my Mountain Dew concoction.
Is it the classic red and green?
Absolutely.
Nice.
All right, so real quick, there's another bit of exciting news, at least for me, and that is that there's going to be a new Professor Layton game.
Ooh.
That is going to be a Switch exclusive. It is going to be called Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. There is a release date. Unfortunately, it is not until 2025. However, I am willing to wait for any Professor Layton game because those games are good. And I like the stories. And I like the art style. Hell, I like Professor Layton games in general.
Well, I guess that means that we'll still have the Switch around in 2025.
Yes. In some iteration or fashion.
Nice.
Okay, so there was a question that was asked recently, and I'm going to ask it now because I promised that I would bring it up.
Okay.
And that question, Zealeus, is what are some AAA titles that when a sequel is released, no matter the quality, it will make serious bank for that company?
Call of Duties, Maddens, Diablos. I think Overwatch may have lost that title.
Yep.
It's also what games come out with cyclical ones, because you think about it like MMOs, for instance, they go with expansions.
Right.
So that's kind of their version is the expansion. But right now, that's really basically just Final Fantasy 14 and World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Other MMOs are still kind of in flux. But those are the ones that come off the top of my head with those couple of titles.
Yeah, I think Madden, of course, FIFA
Oh yeah, I forget about FIFA, but yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, anytime you throw Diablo out there, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would definitely count Assassin's Creed. That's definitely up there.
For Doovie, Civilization.
Yes. Although I would guess in the grand scheme of sales, I'm guessing 4X games are pretty niche.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would be my guess. Actually,
any game that stars Mario or Zelda. I'm trying to think. The problem is there's a lot of there's free to play games out there that their bread and butter is going to be microtransactions, but then again those are just they're not going to release new games. They're just releasing new content, new shiny things for people to mess around.
No, that is what is interesting because one of the most popular games like Valorant and League of Legends and those games, they just continue to come out with new DLCs in the form of microtransactions, not actual
game passes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Game Pass is a very good, or both.
Yeah.
Expansions and Game Pass all in one.
Woo! The best of all worlds. I feel like I'm forgetting a main series, and it's.
Let's see. Oh, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah. That's the one I was thinking.
Like, you think about how long Grand Theft Auto's been around, or we're only on GTA 5. I mean, like, some games would be around a lot more than that. Yeah, because, like, the most popular Twitch games, like Fortnite, League of Legends, still Counter-Strike doesn't have an expansion after all these years.
Yep.
Dota 2. So a lot of these games, they just kind of keep on going perpetually. But if you notice, the ones that don't have all these, like you have Call of Duty, which is an online game, but a lot of them don't go that route.
Right.
They just continue at this. But what they do, I don't play them, but it seems like they still keep them fresh and new with new characters and stuff. Versus what Overwatch did, which was nothing for 2 years.
Yeah.
I think that's what's key, is to keep the gamers engaged.
With new content. What a concept. New content in a game.
But I think the one that will always probably work will be Madden and FIFA.
Yeah.
Because if you want to play sports games, that's really it. You don't really have a choice.
Right.
At least like with the Call of Duty, like there are other FPS choices if it starts to become terrible.
Yeah.
So that one, Assassin's Creed, same thing. There are other kind of open worldy type of games. So those I don't know if they'll always be as popular as they are, but I don't see the sports franchises going away.
No, because like Assassin's Creed, you could do Tomb Raider, you could do Uncharted. Which, by the way, I finally broke down and watched the Uncharted movie. Terrible, absolute. I think I gave it as an art. Okay, it was. I know. I understand.
I think I gave it a
Charlie is a purist, okay? We've gone through this a bajillion times, all right? That was not Uncharted, okay? That was a good, adventure, kind of Indiana Jones-esque, Tomb Raider-esque movie with lots of plot twists and stuff, but that's not Nathan Drake. That's not Sully to me. That just does not compute.
That's fair. But I am sad we never got another Tomb Raider movie.
Yeah, what's that about? That was a good movie.
It was quality. Yeah, actually, all the Tomb Raider movies have been pretty decent.
Yeah, but that last one,
Jolie were good too. I really liked the reboot that they did with I don't know her name.
I know who you're talking about though, but yeah,
it was good. Yeah, so it's interesting they haven't done another one.
Yeah. What did it get? Let's see here. Let's just go over to IMDb real quick here. I want to know what it got. Okay, so it was released in 2018. The IMDb. Oh, I hate fucking pop-ups. It got a Metacritic score of 48, which I think is absolute horseshit.
Really?
Yeah. But then again, I don't like Metacritic because Metacritic is a terrible, terrible website that jacks around with everyone's rating score to fit their own algorithm.
I thought it was definitely better than that, but whatever.
I did too.
On a side note,
Yes.
is there only one Professor Layton for the Nintendo Switch right now?
Yes.
That's all I see.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know, well, of course, you know, moving to the Switch makes perfect sense because it is technically a handheld as well, and that's where Layton thrives, is with the ability to have a touchscreen handheld. But yeah, there's been some spin-offs that have been like on. There might be a spin-off on the Switch, but there's also a spin-off on mobile as well. But it's not Professor Layton. It's like the distant cousin of Professor Layton, or somebody that is an admirer of Professor Layton. It's like some really weird stuff.
Somebody named Professor Layton, spelled wrong, so they could just kind of make the same thing. But
no, it's the same company.
Okay,
it's just yeah, it's just like it's these, you know, these random detectives that happen to live in the town over from Professor Layton that love solving puzzles.
Nice.
But yeah. I think, yeah, I hit all the stories that we had here, so we've got some time to chit chat about other stuff. Zealeus, what have you been playing?
It's been Hogwarts Legacy. The one thing that I think they was smart was setting in a different time, because I think the kind of like you were just saying about Nathan Drake's game. Oh my gosh, the movie.
Uncharted.
Thank you, Uncharted. It's like when you put it in the same exact time frame with the same characters, that's what people are going to do first. They're just going to compare it to the original source material. But when you take something like Hogwarts Legacy and put it in a different time era, you get the benefit of having the same nostalgia, like you're at Hogwarts. You get peeved. You see people like, oh, you see a Weasley, and you see people with these kind of family names you're familiar with.
Yeah.
You get Hogsmeade. You get those kind of things, but you're also not burdened and bogged down by the trappings of the actual story itself.
Yeah.
So it's like you really do get the best of both worlds, where you get the, you know, in a large world that is Harry Potter, you get that, but you don't, I'm sure people did, of course, there's somewhere, but you also don't get lambasted for not following the original story. So I think it worked well in both regards. And on top of that, it's just good gameplay.
Yeah.
It's like the combat's solid. And the way they did it, I could appreciate. So it's a good, solid game that I'm enjoying. It's got pretty graphics when you're in the castle, so you can kind of walk through and see everything that you knew existed before. Now you get to experience it.
Yes.
Although I'm thinking, so slight spoiler alert, like, so you get the ancient magic, right?
Yep.
And all I could think of was like, damn, this really would have been useful during like the whole Harry Potter saga.
Yes.
Like, where was this?
Yes. Why was this magic hidden away during Harry's time at Hogwarts?
I'm sure there was a good reason for it, but it could have been very useful at time to fight those dark wizards.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, but yeah, that I'm pretty sure I wrote a review on that game. I mean, I enjoyed it.
I know you played it.
Yeah, I know I played it. And I'm pretty sure that I wrote a review. If I didn't, then I'm stupid. And it's been too long for me to try to write one. So I apologize.
You should just play it again with a different class.
No.
No.
I'll still end up being the exact same character. See, that's the problem. I've tried a couple times to like I've enjoyed the story, but I want to do something different. But then I keep falling back into the same responses and the same actions because that's how I would play.
There's a comic with the same thing. I remember it's from Morrowind, and you know me, I don't play open world games, but it was very much. I guess there's like this invisible dark ninja bow person who's like apparently the best class in the game or something. And it's like the three friends get together. It's like, all right, we're not doing that class again. We've done it every time. We're going to be like a real character. I'm going to be a fighter and a cleric and a mage. And they get together 30 hours later. Yep. I'm a marksman again. Yep. I'm an invisible marksman again.
Yep.
It's like the idea of where they tried really hard, but in the end, you just do what you like and enjoy.
By the way, just to circle back with that Keanu Reeves thing, Berserker, he helped create it. It was actually written by him and a guy named Matt Kent.
Cool.
And it was a 12-issue limited series that was published in March of 2021. And it was also a Kickstarter project, and it raised $1.4 million on Kickstarter. So. And if you want to have the collected editions, there are 3 of them. Volume 1 contains issues 1 through 4, 2, 5 through 8, and 3, 9 through 12. They are now all officially out, with the last one being released October of 2023.
Do you still do any Kickstarters?
I haven't. Outside of Nerdburger Games, I have not done any Kickstarters.
Well, I'll say Nerdburger is a very worthy patron to be a part of, and you also know that you're going to actually get a finished product.
Yes. This is
not like I give you wondering like.
Actually, I did do the Kickstarter for one of the games that we saw at MomoCon. Actually, 2 of the games that we did at MomoCon, I kickstarted.
Nice.
One was the card game Flawed, and the other one is the educational bug catching game called Bug and Seek.
That was a cute game.
Yeah, and my son Finn has on occasion popped into the beta that's available on Steam to catch some bugs and have some fun with that. So
nice.
Yeah. Also, I've been doing. I continue to rewatch a very popular TV series that Zealeus is a huge fan of because he dresses up in some kind of configuration, and that, of course, is Doctor Who. And right now, I'm going through the Martha Jones episodes, and I'm wanting to bash my head into a wall.
Yeah, she wasn't the best companion ever.
You can't. Oh my God, you can't go from Rose Tyler and immediately try to have someone fall in love with him again. But she has. I don't know. It's just her mannerisms drive me up an effing wall. I also don't like the storyline they have with her mom. So.
Yeah. So are you watching it on BritBox or are you watching it on?
Max.
HBO Max?
No, it's just Max. Remember, they dropped everything, and it's just Max.
Sometimes marketing people baffle me.
Yes. I
concur. Really? Who thought this was a good idea? I mean, I know you have to get paid to create ideas, because if you don't have ideas, then we're getting paid for it, but still, sometimes you just leave something for what it is. But what do I know?
Yes, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I just watched basically the episode that the Weeping Angels truly start messing with people. So yeah. Also, I know totally random, but I'm hoping that some people out there saw the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade, and that one of the floats was Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, and it was unfortunate that there was a float malfunction with Luffy
Oh
by the time he got
no.
on camera. So he's got Monkey D. Luffy is the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. So he has this straw hat brim, like full brim hat, and apparently the brim popped early in the parade, so it looked like he was wearing a soggy fisherman's hat,
Nice.
which I was saddened by. But I was like, but it's still kind of cool.
Um, I've never ever actually like sat down and watched the Macy's Day Parade.
I will tell you this. I have never seen so many effing commercials in my life. Every single year it's more commercials and less of the actual parade.
It's a parade of commercials.
It really is. It's like, look at this float. Okay, now let's do a Toyota ad. Let's do a Publix grocery ad. Let's do I don't know, some other ad. Okay, now here's a marching band that's gonna have to basically do a bastardized version of this song. Okay, and now here is a Mazda ad and a cereal ad and Walmart ad. Okay, now back to it. Now we're going to talk to someone random who's walking on the parade. They're probably someone who's either a movie actor or perhaps is taking some time off from movies or TV to do something at Broadway. Hooray! Okay, now let's go back to some more ads. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's kind of unfortunate because like when it comes, for instance, like football, I always like record it and start like an hour and a half late so I can just fast forward to the commercials. That's my strategy. But with the parade, like it kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah.
To do that. Like that's the idea is you sit down like with your family and like you're watching it live. It's kind of the whole idea of watching the parade. But if it's like all commercials, like you're just going to tune people out.
Yeah. I don't. I
That
did it
stinks.
because the kids were interested in it, and that's what we usually do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
I don't have that.
there are so many shows that just popped up on Netflix that I want to watch.
Uh-oh. No Netflixing during the show.
No, I'm not going to Netflix during the show, but there are so many. Here I am. I'm rewatching Doctor Who episodes when I should probably be watching, all this extra Netflix stuff.
See, that's always the hard part to me for like rewatching a show or reading books. It's like I might know that there's good, but there's this new shiny over here. It just might be even better, or who actually knows?
See, my problem is I multitask. So, do I want to get into a new show where I will have to, like, if it's a a slow burn show, I'm going to have to force myself to focus, or I can just put something on that I've seen a million times, and I can still enjoy. Like I threw this morning while I was eating breakfast, I just threw on a random episode of Hellsing.
Oh, see, I can't multitask. It's like I can only be doing one thing on the face of the planet at once. My brain is not that advanced.
Well, see, I don't think I can. Well, I mean, when I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn or Alan Wake, I'm definitely focused on just that. But most of the time, I'll play, like when I'm playing Super Mario RPG, when I'm not in battles, because when I'm in battles, I have to be locked in because it's all about timing to decrease damage, incoming damage, and increase damage, outgoing damage. But I'll have like the football game on when this show is over, and it's rendered. I will probably be upstairs playing Super Mario RPG while watching the football game in the background, and praying that my children are asleep at this point. Which I haven't really heard any noise from upstairs, so I couldn't tell you what's going on.
Yeah, see, if I did that, like I would literally not hear the football game. Like it would just be, I wouldn't even know what happened. It would just be totally tuned out.
I would I usually just like listen for everyone going, oh my God. And then I just go, oh, what happened? What happened? What happened?
Something happened. Oh my gosh. The game's still on?
If it's important enough, they'll do a replay, okay?
That's fair. This is a true statement.
Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, next week I will be continuing to play more, probably on my end, New World and Hogwarts Legacy will be my games.
I don't know how far I am in. I assume that I'm pretty far into Horizon Zero Dawn, but I'll continue to play that. And then if I get time during the evenings, then I'll play some more Alan Wake 2, but that's probably going to be my slower of the two games. Super Mario RPG. It's Legend of the Five Stars, though they didn't actually. I don't think they actually put that in the title when they did the remake. I already have 5 of the 7 stars. So
wait, I thought you said Legend of the 5 Stars.
7 stars. You're thinking of L5R, the card game.
It's what they should have called it.
Copyright infringement, damn it.
Man, the game's dead anyways. It's fine.
They keep bringing L5R keeps coming back to life. I don't know how, but they do it.
Should I go find my cars somewhere in the depths of my closet? Good. This is how it's done.
I've got my original cards, and then when they rebooted it while it was at full sale, I've got some of those cards too.
I remember meeting somebody at Dragon Con who played L5R. And we're like, wait, what? You actually played the game? There's dozens of us.
Yeah, exactly. Dozens of us. Not hundreds, not thousands, dozens.
I'm sad I did not do better.
No. But yeah, I'm trying to think. There's no real. I mean, at some point, I'm going to break down and play Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, it's just it's written on the wall. But it's just not that time yet.
It'll get. Remember, you got to wait till you can download your 30 gigabyte game.
Oh yeah, it's true. I gotta make some space. I gotta just. I will create a folder that will hold just gobbledygook. Just take up 130 gigs of space. Just sit there on my hard drive, and this will be reserved property for Baldur's Gate, and I'll remove that corrupted weird ass file, so that I can make sure that when I finally do get Baldur's Gate 3, it has a safe home. How about that?
One game I did buy for on the Steam sale, well, actually just 2, was Dishonored.
Yeah.
Because I heard such great things about it. So I haven't played it yet, but it's definitely going to be a game I play.
If anybody actually watched one of my extra live streams from back in the day, I did play Dishonored, and I had a buddy call my cell phone because he wanted to make sure that everything was okay, because he had been watching my character from Dishonored walk into the same wall for 5 straight minutes.
Nice.
Yes. It was slightly embarrassing, but at the same time, I mean, here's my problem with Dishonored. It's a really cool concept. The world that you move around in benefits from you being stealthy.
Yep.
If you are not stealthy, the world becomes dirty.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, it becomes more like disease infested.
So maybe I want the world to be disease.
That's not supposed to be a good thing, Zealeus. I'm just saying.
Does it matter if things are good? Like, I guess let's play the game to find out.
Yeah. Play it and find if you want to live in a world where disease is under control, or if it's just, you might as well just lock yourself in a hyperbaric chamber.
Sounds like their problem to me.
You're the one who's killing everybody.
Well,
it's a you problem, not a me problem.
They need to go get their hyperbaric chambers.
Oh, Lord. No, thank you. But
it was your idea.
At some point, no, I that was one of the games that I did actually. No, I think that was back in the GameFly days for me. I think I had it on the. I think I rented it for the Xbox. Remember those days?
The good old days. Yes, I remember going to Blockbuster and renting like a Sega for the weekend and getting a game with it to rent.
I remember grabbing a random game from not a Blockbuster, but basically a Blockbuster-esque place.
Yes.
And it was a PlayStation 1 game. It's called Beyond the Beyond. And if you actually look it up, the ratings that the game got were absolutely terrible.
Not just Beyond, but Beyond the Beyond.
But ironically, many years later, when I was at Full Sail, I went to there was a GameStop at the mall, and in the super heavily discounted bargain bin was Beyond the Beyond, and I bought it for like $1.59. So
just for fun,
for nostalgia purposes. I never actually put the game back into my PlayStation to play it, but I was like, and now I own it.
Now you have it. And is it just sit on your like closet?
It's in a Tupperware. It's one of those big Tupperware storage containers.
It's a good place for it.
Safe. It's safe.
It's safe. It's safe for someday you're going to play it. I can just feel it.
One day when I'm old and gray. Oh, wait. Too late. Yeah.
When you're old and have no hair.
Already getting there.
You still got, I see some scruff under the hat.
Hence the hat. But anyways, no, it's interesting when you look back and you see all the games that you still have. Because I've sold quite a few of my games, but then there's some games that, for mostly nostalgia reasons, I will never part with. But
I still have my Xbox 360 games, and I'm like, why do I have these? They're sitting in a box.
Because one day someone's going to come over and go, oh my God, you have 360? Can we hook it up? Let's play old school.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, what am I supposed to do with my original NES? Is that too old school now?
Sorry, the controller does not have enough buttons. We cannot play it.
Yeah. When did controllers have to have so many damn buttons?
I mean, it could be worse. It's like, because remember one of the first advanced ones that came out was the N64 controller. It was like, now I look back, I'm like, how did we all not like die of carpal tunnel playing that damn thing?
Dude, if I were to try to play the N64 now, I literally would have to have like thumb surgery.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, the rest of my hand would be fine, but my thumb would be dead. Absolutely.
It was terrible design in retrospect. It was great for strafing because you could use the yellow arrow buttons to strafe by moving through your joystick.
Yeah.
That was like the only good thing about it.
Yeah.
And the trigger on the back. So like it was good for those type of FPS games. Nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've rambled on enough. But I do want to take a quick second to thank everyone for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving everything to come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
And remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.